right, tonight is Monday, November 28th, 2022 at 7 p.m. This is our special village board meeting. Moved from last Monday to this because of the holiday. Clerk, can we get the roll?
Trustee Husk? Here. Trustee Valdez? Trustee Davis? Here. Trustee Cleveland? Trustee Ibarra?
Here.
Trustee Stout? Here. Mayor Nichols?
Here. All right, let the record show we have quorum present. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. And for the record, Clerk Hirschheim is here. Administrator Rooney, Director Public Works Hiltz, our Finance Director Griffin, and Chief Wildy, and ED Director Gil Rivera. And if we could, can I have an approval of tonight's agenda as presented?
Second.
So moved by Trustee Davis, second by Trustee Ibarra. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. And motion will carry. Approval of the council meeting minutes from October 17th of 2022. Any corrections seen or needed? Hearing none. Can I have a motion and a second, please? So moved by Trustee Husk.
Second.
Second by Trustee Stout. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have that as well. Motion will carry. Approval of expenditures tonight for $3,202,783.30. Director Griffin.
Yeah, this was prepared by my staff and broken out just as we normally do. Pretty big amount this time, but that's due to, you can see right up front, $1 million, just under $1 million, to Peter Baker and Son for the road maintenance program, and Burke LLC for the water main replacement projects at almost $700,000. The Equities Associates Corp., that's a sales tax rebate for July through September of this year.
All right. I know we did go over this at the committee of the whole. Anyone have any questions on the expenditures? Hearing none, can I have a motion for the $3,202,783.30 for tonight's expenditures?
So move.
So moved by Trustee Ibarra, second by Trustee Davis, and a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Husk? Aye. Trustee Davis? Aye. Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Ayes have that. Going on to our ratifications tonight, we have none. Reports for committee of the whole reports. Trustees have anything at all for the night? Hearing none, we'll go on to the mayor's report. The only thing I have tonight is we do have visiting us the Avon Township Queens. And if you would like to step up and introduce yourself, say hello, please come on up to the microphone. You can. I believe it's on.
You want me to take it off of the?
Yeah, you can. That way you can pass it down. Just pull it straight forward towards you. Nope, forward. There you go.
So you're a pro at this. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer DeRue, and I'm Miss Avon Township 2022. I'm currently 21 years old, and I just graduated with my master's degree a few weeks ago from Grand Canyon University in Phoenix. My platform this year is called the WIB Effect, which stands for Women in Business and the effect they have on the industry. So I'm currently collecting donations to make career-ready prep kits for students at CLC just so they feel more prepared going into the workforce. We all just competed at the Lake County pageant a couple weeks ago. I got a couple of awards. Let's see, I got Miss Congeniality, Best Interview, People's Choice, and then I got, as you can see under here, first runner-up. So
Very nice.
very proud of that.
Congratulations.
Yes.
And could you spell your last name?
Dereue.
Thank you. That way they have it for the record.
Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Brisa Zakeda. I'm Teen Miss Avon Township, and my platform is called Brisa's Bags of Blessings, which is providing schools around Lake County with feminine essentials, which is needed a lot. And we're here to help you guys with anything you might need with events that you guys host. And we're always here to help with community service. We're always up for the challenge. Thank you.
We appreciate you. We know you guys are out at almost all of our events, and we appreciate you coming out for sure.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm your Junior Miss Avon Township, Nev Statler, and I don't require a platform, but I'm currently trying to work with Ronald McDonald House, and I'm collecting pop tabs for that, and we're going to donate them, and they turn the pop tabs into money, and I think it's a very cool thing that they help children. And again, whatever you guys need us for, reach out. We love to help. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Colette Connor, and I'm Little Miss Avon Township, and also Little Miss Lake County.
You want to say? Yeah.
And I got Little Miss Congeniality and Little Miss Best Interview.
Very good. Congratulations, ladies. Thank you all very much for coming out and introducing yourself. I know I've had the pleasure of meeting you all at numerous events already, and hopefully we'll see you at the December 7th Supper with Santa, if so. But thank you again for coming, and you do not have to feel obligated to sit through the rest of our long meeting. So if you would like, you're more than welcome, but it will get longer, okay? Thank you very much again for coming and for participating. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
All right, moving on, clerk's report. Clerk, do we have a report tonight?
No, we do not.
We do not have a clerk's report tonight. Moving on to business item A. Thank you again, ladies.
Thank you.
Good night.
A resolution approving the proposal for property casualty workers' compensation and other insurance for the village around Lake Beach for not to an exceed amount of $450,670. Susan, do you have more information? I know we talked about this at Committee of the Whole.
Actually, not too much, really. This is, will begin in January, or excuse me, this package begins at the end of the, as January, I apologize, as of January 1st. It's just about a 1.7% increase over the prior year. And there was a decrease actually with the IPRF, which is the workers' comp liability or insurance. So that was all that I have, unless Mark has something to add to that. But there is a breakdown on the types of coverage in the packet, commercial, general liability, and we did increase the deductible to $10,000 on the general liability. That will provide us with a more favorable, we expect
Rate,
more
yep.
favorable rate.
Great. I know we did discuss this again at the Committee of the Whole. Any questions or comments from the trustees? Hearing none, can I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
So moved by trustee Stout. Second by trustee Husk. And a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Davis? Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
All right, the ayes have that, motion will carry. Business item B, a resolution approving the contract of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois for health insurance services and approving other insurance plans for the village around Lake Beach. Susan, again, any add-ons? Just what we've discussed in the committee of the whole, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. No, I don't have any add-ons onto this. This is just as we discussed at the committee of the whole. This is the amount for the employees' life insurance. And with Delta, or with BCBS, Delta and Principal has the vision and life insurance.
The
We
main
did
change, the main
we did
change is
change
for the
Delta.
Delta for the dentist.
We changed from the dental insurance from Blue Cross Blue Shield to Delta Dental, more favorable rates for the employees.
Right. And it was about a overall 5% increase. It started out at about 12, and Jennifer worked with Rich and I and got with the brokers, and it came in at about 5% increase instead of the original number.
All right.
So the broker did a good job for us.
All right, any comments or questions from the trustees? Hearing none, can I have a motion and a second, please? So moved by trustee Davis,
Second?
second by trustee Ibarra, and a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Husk? Trustee Davis?
All right, the ayes have that, motion will carry. Business item C, a preliminary tax levy approval. Susan, I believe you have some information for us on this.
We're getting ready here, and we should be.
The TV's going to work too, Scott? It worked.
Yeah, he has to.
I can tell you, it worked 3 hours ago when we did a trial run.
Yes, we did.
This is the first time we're going to use the new technology. There we go.
One's
On.
on, one isn't. There we go.
There we go.
I don't, that one's not, I don't know why, but.
Mine is, that one is.
We know next time to have the Monet background screensaver ready, so we can just turn it on.
Did something there.
You pushing it too many times?
New technology, we're getting it. We're getting caught up with the times, but they're not quite finished.
There
with
you
it.
go. We got 2 out of 3, so.
Yay.
All right, terrific. Great. Thank you,
All right,
Scott.
Scott.
All right, yeah. So I'm going to, these slides are mostly the same as last at the committee of the whole, but this is for the property tax levy that needs to be filed by the last Tuesday in December of this year. And it's for the bills that will go out for, in June and September of '23. So we won't see this money until our next fiscal year. It's also important to note that this levy is only what the village has levied. This does not include all the other taxing bodies, the libraries, the schools, the county, et cetera. So the equalized assessed value represents about 1/3 of the market value of your property. The preliminary EAV from Lake County looks like most homes went up between 5% and 8%, their market value, assessed market value. The CPI factor under the PTEL is 5%. The police pension levy annual increase this year went up only just shy of $6,500. There are now 4 scenarios that I'm going to show on the next slide, and what we're recommending is scenario 2A, which is a 2% increase over the prior year, which is the same increase percentage from 2021.
That's 2.3%.
2.3?
Yes.
Right. The same increase. This may be a little tough to read, but the blue columns show what we levied last year, and you can see on row, well, it's a little hard for me to see the row numbers there, but last year we increased the levy by 2.3%. Scenario 2.2-A is a 2.3% increase as well. And what that does from a total impact to a 150,000, a 250,000, and a $350,000 levy
Market.
is, or excuse me, home value, fair market home value, is really basically, without pensions, it's negligible. It actually is a wash. You'll see under the yellow or beige colored, under the scenario 2-A. But if you go over to the green coded columns, you can see that on a $350,000 home, that actually the levy would go down about $12, $9 for a $250,000 home, and $5 on a $150,000 home. So that's what, in general, if your home was at just under about maybe 5% under 350,000, and it went up to 350,000 market value, the EAV or the market value was changed. You get those blue cards at home. You would actually see a decrease in your property tax levy.
On the village portion.
On the village portion, yes. We will be very clear that this is the village portion only, which does represent, and I'll show at the end, the last slide, represents 7% of the total tax bill. This is just a breakout by pensions. You can see that the blue line, the pensions, the IMRF and police pension fund are significantly outpacing the last 5 years the monies that are available to go to the corporate fund for liability and police protection. Just a quick look at our 5-year major revenue sources. This is as of fiscal year 22, which is as of April, which doesn't provide you the information that we have more currently that we give to you on the monthly report, and that is that these amounts are starting to stagnate a little bit and beginning to decline, and we're very cautiously watching them because of the inflation and the possible impact on that. A property tax rate comparison. This is of our local community. Local surrounding communities. The village still falls right in the middle of our surrounding communities, and we've got Round Lake Heights, Lindenhurst, and Grayslake with a lower tax rate, and Lakeville, Round Lake, and Round Lake Park with a higher tax rate. So it doesn't mean everything because there's a lot of other variables, but it's just one other way that we look at where we stand with our neighboring communities. This is what we talked about when I said that the village represents 7%. So the pensions are 4%, the remaining balance of our levy is 3%. So we're 7% of the total levy here. The remaining you can see is, well, in this case, the Round Lake Area School District's 63%. You've got the library, the Fire Protection District, the counties, and Forest Preserve, and the Park District. This next one is, This next one is for the Grays Lake School District, so people that are in those taxing districts. Again, well, in this case, actually, we're about 6%. The village is about 6% of the total levy, and the remaining balance being, well, actually 69% being the high school and the grade school. The library, Park District, et cetera, are all comparable. And then this is the Grant High School and the Lake Villa School District, and that is 59% of the schools are. So, in general, the range is between 59 and 69% of the total tax bill, with the village being 7%. So while that's important to us, we don't take it lightly, that amount of money that you pay to the village. We do want you to be aware of the fact that we have no control over what the other taxing bodies do. It is their specific boards that levy those amounts, and we do acknowledge that they are much more significantly dependent, if not almost wholly dependent, on property tax monies. The school district specifically, the park districts will have some user fees, but in general, most of these taxing bodies are very reliant, extremely reliant on property tax monies. And I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have.
The graphs and everything are very, very useful. Thank you for putting those all together. It just goes to show you what very little the village has, but yet all we accomplish in the village. Where, as you can see, the majority of that money is not going to us, it's going elsewhere. But we do our very best to keep those numbers down, and I'm glad we're able to do it again this year.
And it's a testimony to your predecessors that had an eye toward economic development and the powerhouse that you have of sales tax in this community to keep the taxes lower.
So thank you for that. Was there any questions or comments from the board at all? All right, well, hearing none, for the preliminary tax levy approval, going with what the administration has shown of the 2A, which is the 2.3%, correct?
Yes.
Keeping it on balance with what it was last year, but still the numbers on each individual home look to be going down.
For the village portion only.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if we could, for the 2022 preliminary tax levy approval, have a motion and a second.
So moved.
So moved by trustee Stout, second by trustee Husk, and a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Husk? Trustee Davis? Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
All right, the ayes have that.
Emotional thing to do.
Business item D, a resolution declaring certain vehicles and equipment surplus and authorizing their disposition. Director Hiltz.
Yes, this item was discussed at committee. I think the only typo was that it said police vehicles. These are public works vehicles. We're eliminating two F-250s, our backhoe, but we're getting the replacement this week or in the next 2 weeks, and another 350. So we are surplusing 4 vehicles. We're actually replacing them with only 3. So it's based on trying to be part of the enterprise. We'll have newer vehicles so we can reduce our fleet and reduces our maintenance.
All right. Any questions or comments? Hearing none. A resolution approving the agreement, declaring certain vehicles and equipment surplus and authorizing their disposition. I have a motion and a second. So moved by trustee Davis. Motion?
Second?
Second by trustee Ibarra. And a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Husk? Aye. Trustee Davis? Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
The ayes have that as well. Motion will carry. Business item E, a resolution approving an agreement with
Energetics.
Energetics Incorporated for the replacement of SCADA control panels for a not-to-exceed amount of $139,000. Director Hiltz.
Yeah, again, this item was budgeted. These items are a very crucial component to our water system. So these SCADA control panels precede me. Although they are reliable, but most of the technology is obsolete. So if they do break, we couldn't get parts. And so we did proactively budget this item. This takes care of our 3 major water sites and then the master control panel. And then since we redid well number 3, we added that as well. Most of this will be rebudgeted for next year because of what I've heard, the supply chain 6 months for these parts.
All right. Again, I know we discussed this in the committee of the whole, so can I have a motion and a second if there's no questions? Motion, please. So moved by trustee Husk,
Second.
second by trustee Stout. A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Davis? Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Trustee Husk? Okay. Thank you. Motion will carry. Business item F, the resolution approving the purchase of rock salt pursuant to the Illinois Department of Transportation Central Management Service joint bid for a not-to-exceed amount of, Mr. Hiltz?
Yes, again, this item was discussed at several committee meetings. We did approve a resolution for Morton Salt through the Lake County joint bid. We do 2 joint bids to spread out. Unfortunately, we had the same vendor, but that's a risk we take. So we split up our order, and the state came in, and Morton's was low for the state as well as the county.
What was the total not-to-exceed amount, because that was left blank on my
was
form.
it? Is it 77,280?
All righty. If no questions then, a motion and a second for the not-to-exceed amount of $77,280 for the resolution approving the purchase of rock salt pursuant to the Illinois Department of Transportation Central Management Service joint bid.
So moved.
So moved by trustee Ibarra, second by trustee Davis, and a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Husk? Aye. Trustee Davis?
Ayes have that. Motion will carry. A resolution for item G, a resolution approving a change to the design build contract with Burke LLC for not to exceed amount of, if you could, Scott, I need that number as well.
$1,627,059.
The change, though, the change piece.
Oh, that's the total not to exceed amount for the new contract approval. I guess the additional amount was $65,059.
No problem.
Is
So
that
the whole
correct?
total will be
Yes, the total,
$1,627,059.
that's the way the resolution was written, to have the total amount of the contract.
Perfect.
But what you're approving is an additional
It'd be-
65.
I believe whatever the difference is, yes, so I would have to, I don't
Yep.
think that was included. Might be 65,000.
And normally, if this wasn't a design build, we would have had a 10% contingency, but since it was a design build, we didn't build a contingency into it, and that's why we're having to come back to you.
Yeah, so and this would be 4.2% over the approved amount.
All right. And like I said, I know we did discuss this in the committee of the whole, and sorry, the numbers just weren't on my sheet.
Yes.
So
Increase 64,449. It's in the resolution.
64,000?
Yeah, the resolution has it 64,449.
Okay, the difference of $64,449. Thank you. Can I have a motion and a second if there are no questions?
So moved.
A move by trustee Stout. Second by trustee Husk. And a roll call vote, please. No problem. Take your time.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Husk? Trustee Davis? Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Ayes have that. Motion will carry. Business item H, consensus. This is a consensus on the replacement sign on our Village Hall building out front. The half circle, more or less, it's been there for a while. We have some water damage, it looks like, to it over years. And we decided that the circle sat empty and we could use something in the center of it, being the village seal. If everyone had looked at it, kind of get an idea of what the thoughts were on whether it be a multicolor or go just with the green or go with just the red.
Like C, option C.
Was that the
Multicolor.
multicolor? Agreed. All right. I like that as well. So if we're all in agreement, then item C
And I don't
would
think
be
we
the
need to vote.
multicolor. The green seal with the maroon letters, I believe. Scott, you have your direction there.
Yes.
All right. Discussion only, update on the infrastructure reports. Director Hiltz?
This item we included, we typically don't, but based on, we needed to get our engineers in line for our road projects and water main projects, or capital projects going forward. A few items will be discussed in more detail as far as engineering contracts in the committee of the whole. But Gewalt Hamilton, they're doing our road program that we typically do, and that falls under, I think, the general engineering. HMG, they did give us a proposal for Melrose, so we'll discuss their proposal and then ratify that in December. Christopher Burke, well, actually, the water main design, I did go out for an RFP, and all 4 engineers submitted a proposal. The best proposal was Christopher Burke, but we'll review in detail the proposal and then ratify in December. But that amount for the proposal is over 200,000, so we will show all the engineering scores and then we'll ratify.
But we'd like to be able to notify Christopher Burke tomorrow that, they're going to be our selectee, and we'll ratify and confirm that if that's okay with the board in the December meeting.
All right, that's just a discussion item, but I have no problem with that. And the board, I believe, is in agreement?
Yeah.
All right. All righty. Any other discussion items?
I'd just like to point out the salt is a commodity that always generates angst for the administrator and the public works director, because you always end up with too much in the last 4 years, but one of these years, we're going to end up short. And so Scott has been very proactive, reading his Ben Franklin Almanac, and he's got everything loaded as much as we can store, and he's got the pre-order in with the state purchase price. But that's critical, because if we do have a bad winter, we're looking at a rail strike, and the barge traffic has not been able to operate in the upper Mississippi to deliver to our region late summer and fall. So having this storage in advance as well as this pre-order with the state, we should be as covered as we can be as a municipality for a commodity that we're very dependent on.
All right.
Thank you, Scott.
We are now at the point of, actually. Yes, open public participation. Does anyone in the public have any questions or comments for the board? If you do, please come to the podium, state your name for the record, followed by your questions. Seeing that we have none, we are now on to our executive session tonight for probable pending litigation, land acquisition, sale of land, executive session minutes, personnel, and collective bargaining. We do have executive session tonight, so can I have a motion and a second to go into executive session?
So moved.
So moved by trustee Ibarra, second by trustee Husk. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing none, motion carries. We'll be going to executive session. We will be returning afterwards. We may or may not have action to take on our executive session. So we will see you shortly. From executive session and into open session. Regular session time, or start time again will be 8:10. Actions on executive session items. We do have a couple items here. A resolution engaging hotel appraisers and advisors is business item A. I have a motion and a second.
So moved.
With motion by trustee Ibarra, second by trustee Davis. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And should that be a roll call?
Yes.
A roll call vote, please.
Trustee Husk? Trustee Davis? Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
All right, ayes have that, no nays, motion will carry. Business item B, a resolution authorizing certain due diligence expenditures relative to a potential hotel development. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
And I think you should say in the amount of not to exceed
All right.
50,000.
On item B, not to exceed amount of $50,000.
Second?
So moved by trustee Husk, second by trustee Stout. Thank you for the update on the $50,000 not to exceed. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Trustee Davis? Trustee Ibarra?
Aye.
Trustee Stout?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
All ayes, no nays. Motion will carry. Only other item on tonight is, may I have a motion and a second for adjournment? So moved by trustee Davis,
Second.
second by trustee Ibarra. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Any nays? We are done at 8:11.